I need more time for that. I need more time for that. I'm not ready yet. I need more time for that.
Hello Exiles, and welcome back to my second build update for my build guide, Thornheir, the Maelstrom Shepherd. Just before we start, I would like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and safe holidays, and thank you everyone for your support and feedback. The questions have been great as well. This will be my final update for this version, which is my D2 inspired Shaman. After this week, I'll be focusing on making the build endgame viable, and we'll be switching to the Oracle Ascendancy. Please note, I will have a full path of building for this setup in my build guide. This build was great for mapping and really fun. It just lacked the survivability I was hoping for, but it's great if you wanted something off meta and something quick and easy. The only thing I wasn't able to achieve on this that I wanted to was obtaining a Temporalaris. Unfortunately, the price of it was over 250 divines. First thing I would like to talk about is new gear I've come across. So compared to my last video, you can see here that my resistance has gone up quite a bit, as well as my armor, especially if I switch to my secondary swap. My armor and life goes up quite a bit more. You can see down here my estimated elemental damage. It's pretty much 22,190, so 86% of that, which is a huge difference. Massive buff. It's really good. It's just that the armor just wasn't working as well as I thought it would have been, more towards the end game bossing, which is why I'll be swapping to a full energy shield build when I swap to Oracle. Now, the updates I had made from my last build, so I was able to craft a 7 physical staff weapon. That made a huge difference from the 5 all spells. It did unfortunately bring down my damage of Apocalypse, which was great for nuking bosses. But overall, this has increased my tornado skills by a lot, especially when I have 5, almost up to 5 going at once. It makes a real difference when you're mapping. The other upgrades I did make, so I invested in some armor some armor gloves. The most important thing with these here is the attack speed, so that way there, if you are using Lunar Assault, you can definitely get that proc a lot quicker, as well as the armor applies to all elemental damage, so that there was that percentage I was shown earlier. So pretty much is it takes the damage off anything fire, cold or lightning. Great for mapping, bad for bossing. Now with my rings, I was playing around a little bit, so my old rings were pretty bad, so I did change it to breach ones, one with high resis, so that way I could cap out my resis, and the same with the other one, just high resis, a bit of damage and intelligence. So those are what I've been using. I have also been swapping in and out a group of Kulmark. This thing was really good. Not only gives me increased armor and armor to elemental damage, but it also gave me 14 increased energy to my meta skills. So that way there, my cast on alignment was proccing a lot more faster, and it would probably proc every 2 or 3 hits and cast my 2 additional tornadoes, which was very good. So not much else in my gear that I've changed. I did craft a new talisman. Doesn't have the attack speed as my previous one did, but it does have a higher crit chance, which was really good. So my cast on critical was critting a lot more as well. Now, in terms of my skill tree, I did make a few changes in here. So I got rid of a couple of my crit nodes over here that I had grabbed, and my shock and alignment here on my swap 2, and I just brought it up here just to get some more defensive nodes, just because it was made it a lot easier with my T15 mapping, because I found myself dying a lot more when I was shapeshifting into the wolf form. I also, being over 90, I did grab a jewel socket up here. This is just a temporary jewel for now. Ideally, you want to put a Prisms of Belief in there to give you the +3 to tornado skills as well. To go over my current skill gems and supports and the changes I have made. So first I'll start off with my Apocalypse. Not much has changed here. I still got the same 4 supports I had previously. The only thing new with this, since I've hit level 90, I did get an additional socket here, which I haven't filled yet, but I mean, you can put anything to work in there. Plus Fire Mastery is really good in there as well. I did play with that a little bit earlier, and it does boost up your immediate damage quite a bit, which is good. So the biggest changes so far is probably with my tornado. I was lucky enough to get a double corrupted after 3 or 4 attempts at trying to get it done. So it's pretty much my level 21 gem plus the 23 quality, which is really nice. Now I have changed 2 of my gems in this, so I've added Swift Affliction 2. I still got my Considerable Casting, Prolonged Duration 2, and Callisto Element. And I've actually swapped out to Physical Mastery on this one here. And I'll show you still how I can get my additional 5 tornadoes, but now I've only can cast up to 2. I do have a longer duration, so 3.55 seconds, which is nice. And you can see here that my damage has greatly increased. So my physical damage now is standard around 15,000, which is nice. But as in previous video, you're getting mostly damage from your alignment, so your fire, cold, and lightning from your ground effects. So you can see my base damage is just under 40,000, so 39,000 there. And as you can see here, my damage for fire is now 66, but it changes now to lightning, 66,000. And that's through my new skill gem that I'm using, which is Elemental Conflux. So what this does is every 8 seconds, it switches between that random element, and it grants me a buff of 68% more damage of that affected element. So you can see here at the moment it's benefiting my cold. So my cold damage is 66,000, and it will be swapping in a few seconds to the next element there, which is really nice. So what I've done with that one there is I've added prolonged duration, so the skill effect of that one element is greatly increased for a longer time. It works really well for when it's sitting on fire, because then I can spam my element weakness with the burning inscription to get that fire damage ongoing. Now I've also added fire mastery into this one here, so as I mentioned, might boost up my fire skills. I've added Mystic 2 to increase my damage by 40% while on full energy shield, which is really good, especially when you're swapping to and from your shapeshifting. And then Clarity just for the extra mana regen, because having a higher level tornado, it's cost me 170 mana now. So the mana does go quite quickly. Now if I go back to my elemental weakness, so I actually had this socketed in my cast on alignment earlier, but I swapped that out and made it a skill. So that way there I added a few extra things into my cast on alignment, which is nice. So with my elemental weakness, so I got, as I mentioned, the burning inscription. I've got spell cascade. I've got my heightened curse, rapid casting, and then efficiency. Just because if not, the skill itself was costing about 250 mana each time I casted, compared to now it's only 96 mana. So if we circle back up here, I haven't made too much changes to my lunar assault, so it's still got the same effects as it did last time. I did actually add just a free support to it just to help increase my build up. So if you can see here, if I swap, my freeze build up is 2067%. So as normal, it's pretty much freezing most enemies on hit. Bosses do take a couple hits before it does apply the freezing, but you can see here that it works very well for when you're mapping. My pounce, I haven't done anything else. My pounce is still the same for support gems I've added or had on it. And that's just pretty much to get my shocking charges for when I want to get started to chop. I have made changes to my wolf pack though. So I've added loyalty here, so 10% of damage is taken and is supported by my wolf pack. I've added blind as well, meat shield, and then I've added this Armand Steer. This is really good because you get the abyssal modifiers each time your wolves die. And because there's 6 of them when they die, you get a nice set of mods with it. The only other changes I have done as well is, so my Arctic armor, I've added just a couple more things. I've added a knockback to it. I still got the Frost Nexus, Cold Mastery, and Freeze added with it, which is really nice. And the only other changes would be on my custom element alignment here. So as I mentioned before, I did have it with the elemental weakness and burning inscription, but I've swapped that out and I've added in my overabundance here. So when this does proc, it actually shoots out another 2 additional tornadoes, which is really nice. And then my custom critical remains the same as well. So I've have these set up, as you can see here. So these are all set up on my weapon swap 2 for when I'm in my wolf form, because tornado won't proc cast on alignment and cast on critical. So when I'm on my weapon swap 1, you can see here that I've got my elemental conflux, my arctic armor, and my wolf pack supporting me there. So those there are my biggest skill gem changes, which now, like I mentioned earlier, it's all probably going to change once I swap my build to the Oracle Ascendancy. I'm not going to be using my cast on element alignment and cast on critical here. I'll probably also be dropping Arctic armor. I was using bark skin as well for a bit, but I found that the Arctic armor was a lot more beneficial. But that's just how the build runs at the moment. So yeah, thank you for watching, and please watch the space as I will be posting up a new guide on my new endgame tornado build. But if you like this one here, please comment below, and thank you all for your feedback and watching.